Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, we begin a slow, gentle journey through the strange but true corners of our world. Some facts may surprise you, others may seem almost unbelievable, yet all are real, carefully gathered from the vast history, geography, and cultures of Earth. Strange facts remind us that the world is not only grand and beautiful, but also mysterious, quirky, and endlessly fascinating. Before we begin, I invite you to settle in comfortably. Allow your body to relax, your breathing to slow, and your mind to open gently to curiosity. If you find this video calming and enjoyable, consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. It helps us continue creating soothing content for nights of peace and learning. You can also share in the comments your country, city, and the time you are watching this. It is always a joy to see how far this community stretches across the globe. And now, let us step softly into our first collection of strange but true world facts. Did you know that there is a lake in Africa that literally explodes? Lake Nyos in Cameroon looks calm on the surface, but hidden deep in its waters is a buildup of carbon dioxide gas. In 1986, the lake released this gas suddenly in what is called a limnic eruption. The invisible cloud suffocated livestock, trees, and even nearby villagers. It is one of the few lakes in the world with this rare and terrifying phenomenon. To prevent future tragedies, engineers have since installed special pipes that slowly vent the gas into the air. This strange event is a reminder that even the calmest landscapes can hide powerful secrets. Another unusual fact takes us to Bolivia, where lies Sala de Uyuni, the largest salt flat on Earth, while salt flats themselves are fascinating. What makes this place especially strange is that after a rainfall, the entire surface turns into the world's largest natural mirror. The horizon disappears, and the sky seems to merge with the land, creating an almost dreamlike illusion of walking among the clouds. Tourists from around the globe travel here for this surreal experience, and the salt flats are also rich in lithium, a metal vital for powering our modern technology. A place that is both a natural wonder and a key resource in the global economy. Strange, yet true. Let us drift across the ocean to the Pacific, where there exists an island filled with stone heads. You may have heard of Easter Island and its Moai statues, but the true strangeness lies in their mystery. How did the Rapa Nui people, centuries ago, carve and transport these massive figures across the island without modern tools? Some weigh over 80 tons. Recent research suggests they may have used ropes to walk the statues by rocking them from side to side. Even so, the sheer dedication and cultural meaning behind these figures make them one of the strangest yet most fascinating achievements in human history. In the deserts of Namibia, there are circles on the ground, perfectly round patches where no plants grow. These are known as fairy circles, and for decades, scientists debated their cause. Some believed they were made by termites underground, while others suggested that plants were competing for scarce water. What makes them strange is their uncanny regularity. The circles stretch across the desert in near-perfect patterns, as if designed by an unseen hand. Recent studies suggest it may indeed be a mix of both termites and water stress, but the mystery still captures the imagination of travelers and researchers alike. And finally, for this first part, let us pause at a town in Norway where the sun disappears for 2 entire months. In the town of Tromsk, located far north, the polar night sets in each winter. The sun does not rise above the horizon, and the entire community lives in extended twilight. Yet strangely, the people of Tromsk do not suffer higher rates of depression compared to other regions. Instead, many embrace the season, filling their days with culture, cozy gatherings, and appreciation of the northern lights that dance across the dark skies. It is a reminder that even in strange circumstances, human spirit and culture adapt beautifully. These are just the first glimpses into the world's oddities, from exploding lakes to mirrored landscapes, from mysterious statues to fairy circles, and towns where the sun vanishes. The earth is filled with strangeness that delights as much as it amazes. Now that we've gently begun our journey into the unusual, let us drift farther into the oceans, where some of Earth's strangest stories lie hidden beneath the waves. The seas cover more than 70% of our planet, yet remain largely unexplored, leaving much to mystery and wonder. Tonight, we'll explore some of their strangest truths. In the Philippines lies an island that is unlike any other. It is called Vulcan Point, a small island within a lake, which itself is within a larger island, which rests in yet another lake, all on the big island of Luzon. It is a geographical nesting doll. Vulcan Point is considered one of the largest third-order islands in the world. An island within a lake, on an island within a lake, on an island. When viewed from above, this layered wonder feels almost like a puzzle created by nature itself. Far across the Pacific Ocean, in the waters near Australia, lies a curious underwater phenomenon: the Great Barrier Reef's coral spawning event. Once a year, after a full moon in November, the world's largest living structure releases billions of tiny eggs and sperm simultaneously into the water. The sea turns into a cloud of life, a synchronized event so vast it can even be seen from space. The strangeness here lies not only in the scale, but in the timing. Somehow, every coral species across thousands of kilometers knows when to release at once, guided by moonlight, water, temperature, and nature's clock. Traveling north to the coast of the Bahamas, we find an underwater mystery called the blue holes. These are giant marine sinkholes, some plunging over 100 meters deep. Divers describe them as gateways into a different world, with strange ecosystems that can only survive within their isolated, oxygen-poor waters. Some blue holes even contain layers of different water types, fresh on top, salty below, with no mixing between them. To swim through these layers is like moving through invisible worlds stacked upon each other. It is beautiful, eerie, and undeniably strange. Let us sail to Japan, where the coast hides something often compared to an underwater Stonehenge. Off the island of Yonaguni, divers discovered what appears to be a massive stepped stone structure beneath the waves. Some believe it is a natural rock formation shaped by currents and earthquakes. Others are convinced it is the ruins of an ancient civilization, perhaps thousands of years old. The strange sharpness of the edges and the arrangement of the terraces have kept this debate alive for decades. Whether natural or man-made, Yanaguni Monument remains one of the ocean's great mysteries. And then, in the cold waters of Greenland, something almost unbelievable occurs each year. Massive icebergs flip upside down. While this sounds simple, the event is extraordinary to witness. As an iceberg melts unevenly, it can suddenly roll, revealing a crystal-clear underside that has been hidden under the sea for centuries. These newly exposed surfaces often glow a brilliant, almost alien blue, like frozen glass. It is a dangerous event for ships nearby, but also a reminder that even something as solid as ice is in constant motion, changing and transforming in strange ways. Finally, let us close this part with a story of the Baltic Sea anomaly. In 2011, divers discovered a strange object on the sea floor between Sweden and Finland. Shaped like a circular disc, it immediately sparked wild theories, some calling it a natural formation, others imagining it to be an ancient structure, or even a crashed spacecraft. Most scientists believe it is simply a glacial rock formation shaped during the Ice Age. Yet the mystery and the unusual appearance of the formation keep it one of the strangest seafloor discoveries in recent memory. From nested islands to coral-spawning clouds, from blue holes and ancient-like monuments to flipping icebergs and seafloor mysteries. The oceans remind us that strangeness is not rare, but part of the very fabric of our Earth. The seas may soothe us with their sound, but beneath their surface lies a world of the unexpected. The oceans hold mysteries in their depths, but deserts, vast, dry, and seemingly empty, also keep their share of strange and true wonders. Though deserts may seem lifeless at first glance, they are some of the most surprising landscapes on Earth, filled with odd natural phenomena and unique stories shaped by heat, wind, and time. Let us begin with a desert that sings. In parts of the Sahara, the Namib, and even in China's Gobi Desert, dunes produce an eerie sound when the sand slides down their slopes. These are called singing dunes, and their deep, booming notes can be heard from kilometers away. Each desert has its own voice, with tones ranging from low hums to loud roars. The sound is created by millions of grains of sand rubbing together in just the right conditions. For ancient travelers, this phenomenon was both terrifying and magical, often explained in legends as voices of spirits hidden in the dunes. In Chile, the Atacama Desert is often called the driest place on Earth. But once every few years, something almost miraculous happens. The desert blooms. After rare rainfall, seeds that have been dormant in the soil for decades suddenly awaken, carpeting the barren ground with vibrant wildflowers. Entire stretches of sand turn into fields of purple, yellow, and pink. This strange transformation is so spectacular that it draws travelers from across the globe, reminding us that even the harshest environments hold hidden life waiting for the right moment to emerge. From Chile, let us wander north to the United States, where the racetrack playa in Death Valley hides a curious mystery. The sailing stones, massive rocks weighing hundreds of kilograms, appear to move on their own across the flat desert floor, leaving long tracks behind them. For decades, no one understood how these stones could shift without human or animal interference. Only recently did scientists solve the riddle. During rare moments, a thin layer of water freezes under the rocks, and when it melts, light winds push the stones across the slick surface. Though the explanation is clear now, the sight of the tracks stretching across the cracked earth still feels otherworldly. Across the world, in Turkmenistan, the desert holds something almost like a gateway to another realm. It is called the Door to Hell, a fiery crater that has been burning continuously for over 50 years. In 1971, Soviet scientists accidentally collapsed a natural gas pocket while drilling. To prevent the release of poisonous gas, they set it on fire, expecting it to burn out quickly. Instead, the flames never stopped, and the crater still glows brightly today, lighting up the Karakum Desert. Standing at its edge, travelers see a pit of endless flames, a strange monument to both nature's power and human error. In Australia, another desert surprise exists. Lake Hillier, a bright pink lake that looks almost unreal. Its bubblegum color is not caused by dyes or minerals, but by microscopic algae that produce a red pigment. Surrounded by green forests and blue ocean waters, the pink lake seems painted into the landscape. Unlike many other colored lakes, Lake Hillier maintains its vivid pink hue year-round, even when water is removed. Scientists know it is harmless, yet the strange sight continues to puzzle and delight travelers. And in the deserts of Peru, there lies one of the most enduring human-made mysteries. The Nazca lines, stretching across the arid ground, are hundreds of massive geoglyphs, including shapes of animals, plants, and geometric patterns, some stretching for hundreds of meters. The strangest part is that they can only be fully seen from above, leading many to wonder how the ancient Nazca people designed them without aerial views. Some suggest they were ritual paths, others that they were linked to astronomy. Whatever their purpose, the Nazca lines remain one of the world's strangest artistic landscapes, blending human imagination with the vastness of the desert. Deserts may appear still and silent, yet they whisper with strange songs, bloom with sudden life, and glow with fire and mystery. Their unusual wonders remind us that even the harshest environments hold stories waiting to be told. So far, we've wandered through oceans and deserts, uncovering their strange truths. But humanity itself has created some of the world's most unusual landscapes. Cities, with their culture, architecture, and histories, are filled with curiosities that seem almost unbelievable. Tonight, let us stroll slowly through some of the strangest urban wonders our planet has to offer. We begin in Turkey, where beneath the modern city of Dorinkü lies an entire underground metropolis carved out of soft volcanic rock. This hidden city could house up to 20,000 people, complete with stables, schools, wine presses, and even ventilation systems. Its tunnels stretch across multiple levels, some dropping more than 60 meters below the surface. The strangest part is that it was abandoned and forgotten, only rediscovered in the 1960s when a man renovating his basement accidentally broke into one of its passages. This underground labyrinth remains one of the most astonishing and strange reminders of ancient engineering. In Japan, there is a place where the laws of traffic seem to bend into confusion. The city of Osaka is home to the Gate Tower building, a 16-story office tower that has an expressway running straight through it. The highway doesn't touch the building. It passes between the 5th and 7th floors, as if the two were fused together. Noise-proof walls and vibration controls make it possible for people to work inside without constant disruption. To anyone visiting for the first time, however, it looks like a city glitch, a highway disappearing into a skyscraper before re-emerging into the open air. Across the ocean, in Mexico City, lies a place both fascinating and unsettling: the island of the dolls. Hidden among the canals of Xochimilco, the island is covered in hundreds of weathered, decaying dolls, strung up in trees, on fences, and even inside small huts. The story goes that the caretaker of the island began collecting them to ward off spirits after a girl was said to have drowned nearby. Over decades, the dolls multiplied, creating a haunting but strangely captivating scene. Travelers who visit today find it eerie, yet it has become one of the city's most unique cultural landmarks. If we move north to Canada, we find a city with a peculiar reputation: Dawson City in the Yukon. Known for its gold rush history, it is also home to the infamous Sordo cocktail. This unusual drink includes a preserved human toe dropped into a glass of alcohol. The tradition demands that the drinker's lips must touch the toe while drinking. You can drink it fast, you can drink it slow, but your lips must touch the toe. So the saying goes. Strange as it is, the tradition has lasted for decades, with thousands of daring travelers joining the Sordo Club. In Singapore, the strange takes a different form. Here, the futuristic gardens by the bay features massive super trees, towering vertical gardens up to 50 meters high. These artificial trees are covered in plants and flowers, with glowing lights that create an otherworldly forest at night. They also collect rainwater and generate solar energy, blending technology with nature. Walking among them feels almost like stepping into a science fiction story, where cities and forests have merged into one. Finally, in Italy, there is a city that defies expectation: Venice. While most know it as the romantic city of canals, what makes it truly strange is its constant battle with water. Venice is slowly sinking, with high tides regularly flooding streets and squares. To adapt, Venetians have built floating walkways and an entire system of barriers to protect the city from being swallowed by the Adriatic Sea, a city that lives on water, constantly at risk of drowning, yet thriving through culture, art, and resilience. It is both beautiful and bizarre. From underground labyrinths to highways, through skyscrapers, from eerie doll islands to futuristic tree cities, the human world is full of strangeness. Our cities are not just places to live. They are reflections of imagination, fear, and adaptation, leaving behind oddities that capture the human spirit in the most unusual ways. Mountains rise above the land like ancient guardians, and though they may seem solid and unchanging, many of them hold strange secrets and unusual stories. Some mountains are celebrated for their beauty, others for their myths, and still others for the odd natural phenomena that happen upon their slopes. Let us begin in China with Mount Hu, one of the country's sacred mountains. Known for its breathtaking cliffs, it is also famous for what many call the world's most dangerous hike. Wooden planks, only wide enough for 1 foot at a time, cling to the side of sheer cliffs thousands of feet high. Pilgrims and travelers strap themselves to cables as they inch along, with nothing but air and valley below. Yet, despite the fear, thousands come each year, seeking both the thrill and the spiritual reward of standing on its peak. In Tanzania, Mount Kilimanjaro stands as Africa's tallest mountain, but what makes it strange is its snow-capped summit. Rising straight from the hot savanna, Kilimanjaro looks like a mountain wearing a white crown in the middle of the tropics. For centuries, people could not understand how ice could sit so close to the equator. Today, scientists warn that its glaciers are shrinking rapidly due to climate change, meaning future generations may never see its strange, snowy cap. Moving to Venezuela, we find Mount Roraima, a mountain so unique that it inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novel, The Lost World. Its flat tabletop summit rises like a giant stone fortress, sheer cliffs rising hundreds of meters straight up. On the top, isolated from the world below, live plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth. Mist often cloaks the mountain, making it appear like an island floating in the sky, a place cut off from time itself. In Japan, Mount Fuji is not only the country's tallest peak, but also one of its most sacred. Its near-perfect cone shape has inspired countless artworks, poems, and pilgrimages. What makes it strange is how symmetrical and almost unreal it appears, as if painted into the landscape. Even though it is an active volcano, millions climb it every year, treating it as both a natural wonder and a spiritual experience. Across the ocean, in Australia, stands Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock. This giant sandstone monolith rises suddenly from the flat desert, glowing red at sunrise and sunset. Sacred to the Enungu people, Ulu is covered with caves, paintings, and ancient stories tied to the Dreamtime, the Aboriginal creation era. Its changing colors, shifting from ochre to purple to gold, give it an otherworldly presence, as though it breathes with the desert itself. Another odd mountain sits quietly in Wyoming, USA. Devil's Tower. Its sides rise almost vertically, made of strange, hexagonal columns of volcanic rock. No one knows exactly how it formed, but it has fascinated people for centuries. Native American tribes tell stories of giant bears scratching the sides of the rock, leaving the deep grooves that still scar its surface. Today, it is both a sacred place and a climbing challenge. Its peculiar shape, visible for miles across the plains. And in Antarctica, there is Mount Erebus, one of the most extreme and bizarre volcanoes on Earth. Constantly active, it has a rare lava lake simmering in its crater. This frozen land, home to blizzards and endless ice, holds a mountain with fire burning inside. Scientists study it not only for Earth's sake, but also as an analog for other planets. A reminder that mountains can hold mysteries stretching from the core of the Earth to the edges of space exploration. From floating plateaus to fiery craters, from sacred peaks to eerie formations, mountains are not just towering landforms. They are strange monuments shaped by Earth's restless power and the human imagination that surrounds them. Water, when gathered in lakes, often brings calmness to the landscape. Yet, many of the world's lakes are anything but ordinary. Some glow with colors that defy expectation, others bubble with strange chemistry, and some even hold secrets from deep time. Tonight, we glide across these peculiar waters and discover their mysteries. Let us begin with Lake Natron in Tanzania, a body of water so surreal it seems almost alien. Its surface shimmers red due to salt-loving microorganisms, and its waters are so alkaline that they can calcify animals. Birds that mistake the reflective surface for open sky sometimes fall in and become preserved in stone-like form, as if turned into eerie sculptures. Despite its harshness, flamingos thrive here, painting an even stranger picture of pink birds wading through blood-red waters. Across the world in Russia lies Lake Baikal, the deepest lake on Earth, holding around 20% of the planet's unfrozen fresh water. It stretches like an inland sea. But what makes it strange is its age. At 25 million years old, it is the oldest lake we know of. It hosts unique life forms, including the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal species in the world. In winter, the frozen lake forms clear ice sheets that crack with thunderous sounds, creating patterns that look like shattered glass stretching for miles. In Bolivia, Lake Titicaca sits high in the Andes, at over 3,800 meters above sea level. But that alone is not its only peculiarity. Beneath its waters lie ancient ruins, evidence of civilizations that thrived long before the Inca. The lake is also filled with myths, with locals calling it the birthplace of the sun itself. Sailing across its blue surface feels like floating above history and legend all at once. Meanwhile, in Canada, we encounter Spotted Lake in British Columbia. During summer, its water evaporates, revealing hundreds of colorful mineral pools. Each spot is a different size and hue, ranging from green to yellow to blue. To the indigenous Okanagan people, it is a sacred place believed to hold healing powers. Looking at it from above, one might think the earth itself has developed freckles. In the heart of Croatia, the Plitvos Lakes create a magical landscape. Dozens of turquoise lakes are connected by waterfalls that seem to flow endlessly. The strange part is that these waters build their own paths, depositing limestone that creates natural dams. Over centuries, the lakes and waterfalls continuously reshape themselves, as if alive and rebuilding their beauty anew. In the United States, Oregon's Crater Lake holds another mystery. Formed in the collapsed crater of a volcano, it is one of the clearest lakes in the world. But within it floats the Old Man of the lake, a 9-meter-long log that has been bobbing vertically in the water for more than a century. No one knows why it remains upright, drifting slowly across the lake with an almost ghostly persistence. And in Palau, there is a lake unlike any other, Jellyfish Lake. Here, millions of harmless golden jellyfish migrate across the water daily, following the path of the sun. Swimming among them is a surreal experience, like floating through a dreamscape filled with pulsating, glowing creatures. The lake is a reminder that water, even in small places, can harbor strange, unexpected worlds. These lakes red, spotted, ancient, and alive with unique creatures, remind us that water is never simply water. It carries within it the strangeness of geology, chemistry, and time, holding mysteries that reflect both beauty and wonder. The oceans are filled with islands, scattered like stepping stones across blue horizons. Some are lush paradises, others bare rocks, battered by waves. Yet among them lie islands that are truly strange, places shaped by odd geology, unique wildlife, and human stories of isolation. Tonight, we set sail to explore the world's most peculiar islands. Let us begin with Easter Island, known for its giant stone statues called Moai. Rising from volcanic rock, these silent figures stand taller than men and weigh many tons, scattered across the landscape as if guarding the island. What makes them strange is not only their size, but also the mystery of how they were moved. Carved by the Rapa Nui people centuries ago, the statues remain a puzzle of engineering, faith, and survival on one of the most isolated places on Earth. In the Indian Ocean, we find Socotra, an island that looks like it belongs on another planet. Its famous dragon's blood trees, with their umbrella-shaped canopies and crimson sap, seem like creations of science fiction. Nearly 1/3 of the island's plants exist nowhere else on Earth, earning it the title of the most alien-looking place on our planet. For travelers, it is both a natural treasure and a reminder of Earth's vast biodiversity. Another strange place lies in the Pacific Ocean, the island of Yap, part of Micronesia. Here, people traditionally used giant stone discs as money. These stone coins, called rai, could be several meters wide and weigh thousands of kilograms. Instead of being carried around, ownership was passed verbally, making wealth a matter of community agreement. This unusual form of currency remains one of the most fascinating economic traditions in human history. Off the coast of Australia lies Fraser Island, the largest sand island in the world. What makes it odd is that it has lush rainforests growing directly out of the sand, something scientists once thought impossible. The island is also home to purebred dingoes and over 100 freshwater lakes, some of them perfectly clear, resting like blue jewels upon a sandy bed. In Iceland, there is Surtsey, an island younger than many of us. It appeared suddenly in 1963 when a volcanic eruption pushed land out of the ocean. Scientists quickly declared it off-limits to the public, turning it into a living laboratory to watch how ecosystems begin from nothing. Today, plants, birds, and insects slowly claim the once barren rock, offering a rare view into the birth of land. Further south in the Philippines, we encounter Palawan's Coron Island. But what makes it especially unusual are the sunken Japanese warships that rest beneath its waters, now covered with coral. Divers explore these eerie relics, swimming between rusted steel and schools of tropical fish, a strange blending of history and nature. Perhaps one of the strangest of all is Tristan da Cunha, a volcanic island in the South Atlantic Ocean, home to just a few hundred people. It is the most remote inhabited island in the world, thousands of kilometers away from any continent. Ships visit only occasionally, and supplies are limited. Yet, the community thrives, living a quiet, cooperative life far removed from the bustle of the modern world. These islands, some haunted by statues, others glowing with alien trees or guarded by mystery, are reminders of Earth's farthest edges. They stand apart, shaped by isolation, offering glimpses of worlds both strange and beautiful. Mountains are symbols of power and permanence, rising like ancient guardians above valleys and plains. Yet, not all mountains are ordinary. Some defy expectation with their colors, shapes, and even the secrets they hold deep within their slopes. Tonight, we climb, slowly, calmly, into the world of Earth's strangest peaks. Let us begin in China, where the Jianji Dengsha landform glows with surreal beauty. These rainbow-colored mountains look as though an artist painted stripes of red, orange, yellow, and blue across the rocks. In reality, the colors come from mineral deposits layered over millions of years. Wind and water carved the shapes, but it is sunlight at dawn and dusk that sets them aflame in breathtaking patterns. Travelers often describe them as stepping into a dreamscape of color. In Venezuela rises Mount Roraima, a flat-topped mountain so strange it seems cut by the hand of giants. Its sheer cliffs rise straight from the surrounding jungle, and its plateau is often shrouded in mist, creating the illusion of a floating island in the clouds. The mountain inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novel, The Lost World, with its suggestion of prehistoric life hidden on its summit. Even today, rare plants and animals live here, adapted to the isolated ecosystem above. In Switzerland, the Matterhorn stands as one of the most recognizable mountains in the world. Its pyramid shape is so perfect that it almost seems unnatural. Climbers are drawn to its sharp ridges and icy slopes, though it is also one of the most dangerous peaks in the Alps. Its fame has spread beyond geography, even inspiring the design of chocolate bars like Toblerone. The strange part of this mountain is how it combines natural beauty with cultural identity, becoming a global icon of both tourism and adventure. In India, the magnetic hill near Leh in Ladakh creates an optical illusion so powerful it seems to defy gravity. When cars are left in neutral on the road, they appear to roll uphill. The truth lies in the landscape. The surrounding mountains tilt the horizon, tricking the eyes and making a downward slope appear to rise. Travelers come from around the world just to experience this strange play of perspective in the high Himalayas. Across the ocean in the United States, the painted hills of Oregon show mountains drenched in hues of gold, red, black, and green. These colors shift depending on the time of day and season, giving the land a living, changing appearance. Each layer represents a different chapter of Earth's history, from volcanic ash to ancient riverbeds, turning the hills into a geological painting millions of years in the making. Another marvel lies in Tanzania, Al Doinyo Langai, known as the Mountain of God to the Maasai people. This volcano is unique because it erupts the world's coldest lava. Unlike typical glowing red magma, its lava is black, runny, and cool enough to be touched briefly before it burns. At night, however, it glows faintly, as if the earth itself is whispering fire. And in Canada, the Giant's Causeway of Northern Ireland, though not a mountain, but a basalt formation, resembles a frozen staircase built by mythical hands. Hexagonal stone columns rise from the sea, the result of ancient lava flows cooling in geometric patterns. Legends claim it was created by giants crossing the ocean. And when one walks across the stones, it is easy to see why myths endure here. Mountains can inspire awe through sheer height, but the strangest ones remind us that Earth is an artist of endless creativity, painted in colors, shaped into tables or pyramids, glowing with unusual lava. Each peak tells a story that stretches from the deep past to the cultural imagination of today. Water covers most of our planet, yet not all lakes, rivers, and seas behave as we expect. Some glow in the dark, others vanish without explanation, and a few defy the very rules of nature. Tonight, we drift gently across Earth's strangest waters, letting their mysteries carry us. Let us begin with Lake Baikal in Siberia, the oldest and deepest freshwater lake on Earth. It holds about 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater, more than all the Great Lakes of North America combined. What makes it strange is not only its depth, but also its life. The lake is home to species found nowhere else, including the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal on the planet. In winter, the frozen surface turns crystal clear, revealing turquoise cracks and air bubbles locked beneath the ice. Now we travel to Bolivia, where the Salar de Uyuni, the largest salt flat in the world, transforms into a giant mirror when covered by rain. At dawn, the reflection of the sky makes it impossible to see where the earth ends and the heavens begin. It feels as if one is walking on clouds, suspended between worlds. Scientists also value the region for its lithium reserves, a vital resource for modern technology, hidden beneath the salt. In Kazakhstan, we find Lake Balkhash divided into two halves with a curious secret. The western side is fresh water, while the eastern side is salty, creating two completely different ecosystems within the same body of water. Fish that thrive in one part cannot survive in the other, and yet they share the same basin, a strange reminder of how geography can split a single world into two. There is also Lake Natron in Tanzania, a place that seems almost unearthly. Its alkaline waters are so caustic that they can calcify animals, turning them into eerie statues if they fall in. The lake shines in shades of deep red, created by salt-loving microorganisms. Finding sanctuary in a lake that looks hostile but gives life in its own way. Moving north, we arrive at the Dead Sea, lying between Israel and Jordan. It is one of the saltiest bodies of water in the world, nearly 10 times saltier than oceans. This extreme salinity prevents most life from surviving, hence its name. Visitors float effortlessly on its surface, unable to sink. For thousands of years, it has been a place of healing, mystery, and economic trade in minerals. On the other side of the world, in Canada, there is Spotted Lake in British Columbia. During summer, the water evaporates, revealing circles of mineral deposits in shades of blue, green, and yellow. From above, it looks like an artist painted polka dots onto the land. Indigenous peoples of the region consider it sacred, believing each spot to hold medicinal properties. Perhaps one of the most peculiar rivers flows in Colombia. Cano crystals, known as the River of Five Colors. For part of the year, its waters shine with brilliant hues of red, yellow, green, blue, and black, caused by aquatic plants and shifting sunlight. Tourists describe it as a liquid rainbow running through the jungle. And then there are seas that glow at night. In places such as the Maldives and Puerto Rico's Mosquito Bay, bioluminescent plankton fill the water with blue sparks of light when stirred by waves. Walking along these shores feels like stepping into a dream, where every footprint glimmers like stars scattered across the ocean. From lakes that mirror the sky to rivers that burn with color and seas that shine with light, Earth's waters reveal that strangeness and beauty often flow together. They remind us that even the most familiar element, water, can take forms beyond imagination. Deserts are often thought of as barren wastelands, yet some of the strangest and most enchanting wonders of the earth lie within them. Their sands shift like whispers, their landscapes hide mysteries, and their very existence often defies logic. Tonight, let us wander slowly through the deserts of the world, where silence holds secrets older than history. Our first stop is the Namib Desert in Namibia, one of the oldest deserts on Earth, dating back at least 55 million years. Its dunes are among the tallest in the world, glowing orange and red under the rising sun. Some of these dunes reach heights of over 300 meters, dwarfing the landscape around them. What makes the Namib truly strange is its fairy circles, mysterious round patches where nothing grows, ringed by grasses. For decades, scientists debated their origin. Others thought it was competition among plants for scarce water. To this day, their full mystery continues to stir curiosity. Now we cross to the Sahara Desert, vast enough to stretch across an entire continent. Within this immense sea of sand lies the Richat structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara. From space, it looks like a giant bullseye carved into the earth. Nearly 40 kilometers across, it was once thought to be a meteor crater. In reality, it is a deeply eroded dome of rock, revealing layers like the rings of a tree. Ancient traders crossing the Sahara likely used it as a landmark long before it was visible from satellites. In Chile, the Atacama Desert is one of the driest places on Earth. Some weather stations here have never recorded rainfall. Its dryness is so extreme that scientists test Mars rovers in its soils as they resemble Martian terrain. Yet, despite its harshness, the desert blooms in rare years when rainfall arrives, transforming the barren ground into a sea of colorful flowers. This fleeting miracle of life is called the Deserto Florido, the flowering desert. Far away in China lies the Gobi Desert, a place of both scorching summers and freezing winters. Hidden within its shifting sands are dinosaur fossils, so abundant that early explorers described the region as a natural museum. Entire dinosaur nests have been found here, frozen in time for more than 70 million years. What seems lifeless today once echoed with the footsteps of ancient giants. In Bolivia and Argentina lies the Siloli Desert, famous for its rock formations shaped by centuries of wind erosion. Among them stands the Arbol de Piedra, or stone tree, a tall rock that looks like a tree carved from stone. Against the backdrop of empty desert, it appears as if nature itself decided to sculpt a surreal artwork. Another strange desert wonder can be found in Turkmenistan, where a fiery pit has been burning for decades. Known as the door to hell, this crater in the Karakum Desert was created when a natural gas field collapsed in 1971 to prevent the spread of poisonous gas. Scientists set it alight, expecting it to burn out in days. Instead, the flames have continued for over half a century, glowing endlessly in the desert night. And in the United States, the Mojave Desert hides a peculiar mystery in Death Valley, the sailing stones. These heavy rocks move across the desert floor, leaving long tracks in the cracked clay surface. For years, no one could explain how. Only recently did scientists discover that thin sheets of ice and strong winds push the stones slowly across the valley floor, making them appear to glide on their own. Deserts may seem empty at first glance, but their mysteries tell another story. In their silence, we find places that glow with fire, bloom with sudden life, and hide the remnants of creatures long extinct. In their stillness, deserts remind us that even the quietest landscapes hold some of Earth's strangest secrets. Amid the wilderness and natural wonders, humanity has carved out settlements that seem almost impossible. Some cities rise from cliffs, others float on water, and a few exist in places where survival itself feels unlikely. Tonight, we will walk slowly through these unusual cities and villages, letting their strangeness guide our journey. In Italy, the cliffside villages of Cinque Terre cling precariously to steep rocks above the Mediterranean Sea. Brightly colored houses are stacked in impossible positions, almost as if painted into the cliffs. The settlements were built this way to make use of the rocky terrain and to guard against pirate invasions centuries ago. Today, they are among the most picturesque travel destinations in the world, where culture, tourism, and nature meet in perfect harmony. In Bolivia, high in the Andes, lies La Paz, the world's highest administrative capital at nearly 3,650 meters above sea level. The city sits in a deep valley surrounded by snow-capped mountains, with houses climbing steep slopes like a staircase to the sky. Cable cars link different parts of the city, offering sweeping views of a settlement that feels suspended between Earth and the heavens. On the other side of the globe, in Yemen, stands Shibam, often called the Manhattan of the desert. Its centuries-old mud brick towers rise several stories high, creating one of the earliest examples of vertical urban living, built to protect against floods and raids. There is also Venice, the Italian city built on water. Instead of streets, it has canals, and gondolas glide where cars cannot go. Wooden piles driven into the marshy ground centuries ago still hold the city above the lagoon. Its survival for over 1,000 years, despite constant flooding, makes it both a marvel of engineering and a fragile wonder of culture. But perhaps even stranger is the city of Whittier, Alaska. Nearly the entire population of about 300 people lives in a single 14-story building. Known as Baggage Towers, it contains homes, a post office, a church, and even a small school. This unusual arrangement began because of the harsh climate and isolation. Residents live almost like one extended family, sheltered together under one roof. In the deserts of Saudi Arabia lies Ula, an ancient city of carved stone. Its tombs and dwellings were cut directly into cliffs by the Nabatean civilization, the same culture that built Petra in Jordan. Wandering among these stone structures feels like walking through a forgotten city, frozen in time. Meanwhile, in the Netherlands, Giethoorn is a village without roads. Instead, canals and wooden bridges connect the houses. Boats and bicycles are the main forms of transportation, giving the place a dreamlike atmosphere, often referred to as the Venice of the North. Then there is Auroville in India, a city built not for commerce or politics, but as a utopian experiment. Founded in 1968, it was designed to unite people from different cultures, religions, and nationalities in one community. At its center stands the golden matromander, a sphere used for meditation rather than worship, symbolizing peace and unity. From towering mud brick skyscrapers to villages afloat on canals, and from cities carved into stone to communities gathered in one single building, humanity has created some of the most unusual settlements on Earth. These places show that survival, culture, and creativity are not just about adapting to geography, but also about transforming it into something unforgettable. The seas of our planet cradle countless islands, each one a world of its own. Some are lush paradises, others barren mysteries, and a few seem so unusual they could belong to another planet. Tonight, let us drift across oceans to discover expectation and tell stories unlike any other. One of the strangest islands on Earth is Socotra, often called the Alien Island. Located in the Arabian Sea and part of Yemen, it is home to plants and animals found nowhere else. The dragon blood tree, with its umbrella-shaped canopy and crimson sap, looks like something from a science fiction tale. Its isolation has preserved life forms that evolved in complete uniqueness, making Socotra one of the most biologically diverse places in the world. Far in the Pacific Ocean lies Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, known for its mysterious Moai statues. These massive stone figures, carved by the island's early inhabitants, watch silently across the land and sea. Some weigh over 80 tons and stand as tall as a building. How they were moved and erected remains one of archaeology's great puzzles. The Moai are not just sculptures, they are guardians of ancestry, memory, and culture, linking the people of the island to their past. In Iceland, there is Surtsey, an island born from fire. It emerged suddenly in 1963 after a volcanic eruption beneath the sea. For weeks, ash and lava built it higher until a new island stood above the waves. Surtsey is strictly protected by scientists as a natural laboratory, showing how life colonizes a barren land step. From the first moss to nesting birds, it is a place where creation is unfolding before our eyes. Another peculiar island is Okunoshima in Japan, better known as Rabbit Island. During World War II, it was used for chemical weapon production, but today it is famous for its hundreds of friendly rabbits that freely roam the land. Visitors are often surrounded by these animals, creating an atmosphere both whimsical and surreal. Moving south, in the Philippines, lies Palawan's limestone island of Coron, home to lagoons with waters so clear they seem otherworldly. Beneath the surface rest shipwrecks from World War II, now transformed into reefs where fish and corals thrive. Here, history, tragedy, and beauty blend together in silence beneath the sea. In the Indian Ocean, North Sentinel Island hides one of the last uncontacted peoples on Earth. The Sentinelese tribe has resisted outside contact for thousands of years, choosing to live in complete isolation. Protected by international law, they remain a mystery, an untouched culture in a world that has connected almost everywhere else. Then there is Tristan da Cunha, often called the most remote inhabited island. Located in the South Atlantic, it is home to fewer than 300 people. Surrounded by rough seas, it is nearly impossible to reach, except by occasional boat. Its small community lives in close harmony, relying on fishing, farming, and each other in a world far removed from modern chaos. Even stranger is the island of Mont Saint-Michel in France, which seems to rise magically from the sea. At high tide, it becomes an island surrounded by water, while at low tide, it is connected to the mainland by sandbanks. Its medieval abbey and village look like something from a fairy tale, perched atop a rocky peak. Each of these islands tells a story not just of land surrounded by sea, but of nature, culture, and history unfolding in ways that surprise the imagination. Islands are like dream worlds scattered across the oceans, reminding us that even small pieces of land can hold immense wonder. The Earth is alive with movement, light, and transformation. Beyond mountains and oceans, our planet also produces extraordinary natural phenomena events, so strange they feel like magic. Tonight, we will wander into this world of wonder, where science and beauty meet in the most unusual displays. One of the most breathtaking phenomena is the aurora borealis, or northern lights. High above the Arctic, charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's atmosphere, painting the sky with ribbons of green, purple, and blue. The lights dance across polar skies like brushstrokes on a canvas, a reminder that even the coldest nights can glow with beauty. In the south, their twin, the aurora australis, paints similar patterns over Antarctica and southern oceans. In Venezuela, the Catatumbo lightning storm holds a world record. Above the mouth of the Catatumbo River, lightning strikes almost every night for up to 10 hours at a time, sometimes flashing hundreds of times in a single hour. Scientists believe that geography and atmospheric conditions create a perfect storm, making it one of the most reliable lightning shows on Earth. In the deserts of Namibia, strange circular patches called fairy circles the land. Each circle is bare of vegetation, surrounded by taller grasses. The cause has puzzled researchers for decades, with theories ranging from termites creating underground nests to plants competing for scarce water. Whatever the reason, the sight of thousands of circles stretching across the desert feels like nature's artwork. In Siberia's Lake Baikal, the deepest freshwater lake in the world, winter brings another marvel. Ice, so clear and thick, it seems like glass. Frozen methane bubbles become trapped beneath the surface, creating patterns that sparkle in the sunlight. This frozen wonderland is as haunting as it is beautiful. Elsewhere, in Death Valley, a phenomenon called sailing stones occurs. Massive rocks appear to move across the desert floor, leaving long trails behind them. For decades, no one could explain it. Eventually, scientists discovered that thin sheets of ice, pushed by light winds, allow the rocks to slowly glide across the playa, a secret dance between wind, water, and stone. In the waters of the Maldives, bioluminescent plankton turned beaches into glowing landscapes. At night, the waves shimmer with bright blue light, as if the stars have fallen into the ocean. Walking along these glowing shores feels like stepping into another realm. Then there is Spotted Lake in Canada, which transforms each summer. As water evaporates, mineral-rich pools form spots of yellow, green, and blue across its surface. The lake is considered sacred by the local indigenous people, both for its healing properties and its surreal appearance. In Norway, there are frozen waterfalls that transform into walls of ice, attracting climbers from around the world. But even more magical is the midnight sun. When the sun never sets above the Arctic Circle in summer. For weeks, day and night blur together, and time itself seems to lose meaning. Finally, in Yellowstone National Park, the grand prismatic spring glows with vibrant colors, blue at the center, surrounded by rings of green, yellow, and red. These colors come from heat-loving microbes that thrive in the hot water, turning the spring into a rainbow of life. From glowing oceans to endless lightning, from moving stones to painted skies, these natural phenomena remind us that Earth is more mysterious than we can ever fully understand. Each event is a story written not in words, but in light, motion, and silence. While nature creates some of the most remarkable wonders, humanity has built cities and communities in places so strange they almost defy belief. Tonight, let us wander through towns and settlements that prove people can adapt to almost any environment. From deserts to mountaintops, from caves to floating waters. High in the Peruvian Andes lies La Rinconada, often called the highest city in the world. At more than 16,700 feet above sea level, oxygen is scarce and temperatures remain freezing all year. Yet over 50,000 people live here, many drawn by gold mining. It is a place of resilience, where daily life is a struggle against altitude, but also a testament to human endurance. On the other side of the globe, in Turkey, there is Cappadocia, region of stone chimneys and caves carved into soft volcanic rock. For centuries, people built homes, monasteries, and even entire underground cities beneath the earth. Walking through Cappadocia feels like stepping into a fantasy, where landscapes and architecture blend seamlessly. Then there is the village of Giethoorn in the Netherlands, sometimes called the Venice of the North. Instead of roads, canals weave through the community. Boats and small wooden bridges connect homes, creating a world where cars are unnecessary and daily life moves peacefully on water. In the deserts of Mali stands Timbuktu, once a legendary hub of knowledge and trade. In the 15th century, its libraries and universities made it one of the most important centers of education in the world. Today, it is quiet, surrounded by sand, but the echo of scholarship still lingers in its ancient manuscripts and architecture. In the icy lands of Greenland, some communities are built directly on glaciers and frozen shores. Colorful wooden houses stand against a backdrop of snow and icebergs, painted bright red, blue, and yellow to bring cheer to the long polar nights. These settlements, small and isolated, survive by fishing and hunting, deeply connected to the rhythms of nature. In the cliffs of Spain's Serenil de las Bodegas, homes are literally built beneath giant rock overhangs. The stone itself forms walls and roofs, sheltering people for centuries. Walking through its streets, one sees nature and architecture blending into one continuous structure. In the Pacific Ocean, the island nation of Tuvalu is one of the smallest countries in the world. Its villages rest just a few feet above sea level, making it vulnerable to rising oceans. Despite this, Tuvalu thrives with strong traditions, community spirit, and a culture deeply tied to the sea. Japan offers another curiosity in the form of Hashima Island, once a bustling coal mining city. Nicknamed Battleship Island for its shape, it was abandoned in the 1970s and now sits as a ghost town of crumbling concrete. The silence of its empty buildings tells a haunting story of industry's rise and fall. In Bolivia, Salar de Uyuni transforms into a mirror when covered by rain. During these times, tiny villages on its edges seem to float in the sky, their reflections stretching endlessly in every direction. Travelers call it one of the most surreal experiences in the world. And finally, let us not forget Venice itself, the city built entirely on water. For centuries, its canals, palaces, and gondolas have enchanted travelers. Though threatened by floods and time, it remains a jewel of culture and architecture, a city that seems more dream than reality. From floating towns to cliffside homes, from frozen villages to desert libraries, these cities show how humanity adapts and thrives in places that test imagination. They are proof that our species does not just live on Earth. We find ways to belong to every corner of it. As we come to the end of our journey tonight, let us take a moment to breathe and reflect on the many wonders we have explored together. From glowing deserts to frozen lakes, from lightning that never ceases to cities built beneath stone. The world has shown us that strangeness and beauty often live side by side. Each fact, though unusual, reminds us of a deeper truth. Earth is endlessly creative. Its landscapes, cultures, and mysteries stretch far beyond what we can see in a lifetime. And yet, by pausing to listen, to learn, and to let our curiosity wander, we catch glimpses of that vastness. As you rest, imagine standing beneath the northern lights, their colors swirling above like a celestial lullaby. Picture the bioluminescent waves washing gently at your feet, glowing with each step. Feel the hush of an ancient city carved into stone, where silence holds the whispers of centuries. These are not just facts. They are invitations to dream, to wonder, and to find peace in the knowledge that the world is both strange and gentle. If you enjoyed this journey, I invite you, softly, to leave a like and subscribe, not out of obligation, but only if these stories brought calm and curiosity to your evening. Your comments are always welcome. Share the city, country, and time where you are watching. It is a joy to imagine this community stretching across oceans, mountains, and time zones, connected by shared wonder. As you close your eyes, let these strange truths linger in your thoughts, like stars against the night sky. May they carry you gently into rest, filling your dreams with rivers that glow, deserts that sing, and cities that defy gravity. The world is stranger and more beautiful than we ever imagined. Sleep well, dream deeply, and until our next journey together, good night.